Do y'all want to know something interesting that I just realized? The start of the 2023 NBA season is going to be the first time in a long time that everyone is going to be healthy. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Zion Williamson, Ben Simmons. Every star player that I can possibly think of should be back on the hardwood floor, and as a fan, I love it. Today I want to go over who I believe are the top 30 players in the league. And as for my criteria on how I created this list, I went over a bunch of factors such as how well they performed in 2022, how old they'll be in 2023, how they fit into this new three-point shooting era of basketball, and their own personal situation, which of course is different from player to player. The one thing I did not factor in was health, because I didn't think it was fair to rank a player based on freak accidents. So, with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to do a countdown style which starts from player number 30, then make my way down to the best player in the league. And then after that, I'll do some honorable mentions because honestly, there are so many good players in the league today that it's tough to fit them all into a list like this. So without further ado, for number 30, we have Bam Adebayo, aka Bam Bam. He was the second best player for Miami, and he helped clinch them the first seed in the East. And although he sort of disappeared in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2022, he's still only 24 and is still improving his craft. Miami has a great player development program, and I expect Bam Bam to be better once the 2023 season starts. Next off at number 29, we have DeAndre Ayton. This dude is an athletic 7-foot rim runner who's starting to develop a shooting stroke. I mean, in 2022, he averaged 17 and 10 while shooting 37% from three-point range. If he improves upon that this offseason, he might even start to get some MVP votes. At number 28, we have Chris Paul, the point guard. He'll be turning 38 years old in 2023, but man, in the 2022 playoffs, CP3 averaged 17 points and 8 assists while shooting 56% from the field, 39% from three-point range, and 95% at the free throw line. If his defense wasn't exploited by both the Pelicans and the Mavericks, he'd be a lot higher on this list. At number 27, we got Ben Simmons. Like I said, this list is based on when players are quote-unquote healthy, and the fact of the matter is, when Ben Simmons is healthy, both physically and mentally, he's a beast. I mean, he's a 6'10" point guard that can guard every position on defense, and then on offense, he can do everything you need except shoot the ball. When 2023 arrives, I have a feeling that Simmons is going to erupt. For number 26, we got Andrew Wiggins. The former number 1 pick was an all-star last season, and in the playoffs, he was even better. In the finals, he was the best player on the court whose name isn't Steph Curry. And because he'll be an unrestricted free agent soon, he'll be wanting to play his best basketball ever in order to secure a sizable contract. For number 25, we got Michael Porter Jr. In his last healthy season, this dude averaged 19 points and 7 rebounds while shooting 54% from the field, 45% from three-point range, and 79% at the free throw line. Enough said. For number 24, we got Devin Booker. I know he made the All-NBA first team in 2022, but when push comes to shove, especially in the playoffs, he seems to shrink. I mean, he lost a 2-0 lead against the Bucks in 2021, then in 2022, For number 23, we got Rudy Gobert. He's the best shot-blocking center currently in the league, and he's in the middle of his prime. I honestly believe he's the best player Utah had, and I look forward to seeing how he meshes in Minnesota. For number 22, we got Karl Anthony Towns. He's the best three-point shooting big man in the league currently, and would be a lot higher on this list if he played with more intensity and passion. For number 21, we got Klay Thompson. This is going to be the first summer in the last 3 years where Klay is going to be completely healthy. With his competitive drive, I expect him to get his defense back close to where he used to be. Also, he's going to have a full training camp to develop chemistry with the squad. So, if you thought he was good last year, wait until you see what he can do in 2023. For number 20, we got Paul George. PG-13 should be motivated to play his best basketball this upcoming season. I mean, the Clippers, with a healthy Kawhi, are in the conversation for winning the championship. Still though, whenever I hear Paul George's name these days, I can't help but laugh and think of this.
I don't care what anybody says, that's a bad shot.
For number 19, we got Ja Morant. This dude was caught saying on camera that he would have cooked Michael Jordan in his era. So what that tells me is he's crazy. The man has completely lost it. All jokes aside, a lot of people may have him higher on their top 30 list, but the truth of the matter is the Memphis Grizzlies were 36-21 with Morant in the lineup, and 20-5 when he wasn't. For number 18, we got Trae Young. Ice Trae has the best floater in the game, and has the ability to shoot it from Curryland. In the playoffs, however, a Miami Heat team just exposed him, but Trae's still young, and I expect him to learn from that failure and be better for 2023. For number 17, we got Kyrie Irving. Uncle Drew still has the best handles in the league and is capable of shooting 50, 40, and 90 on any given year. He would be a bit higher on this list if he was more about team winning versus individual achievements. For number 16, we got Zion Williamson. The last time we saw this man healthy, he was 20 years old, averaging 27 points, 7 rebounds on 61% shooting from the floor, and making grown men look like babies. There's a reason why he was so hyped up in the 2019 draft, and we're all about to be reminded of why. For number 15, we got Damian Lillard. Last season, Dame Time was injured and had an off year. So although some people would say he doesn't deserve to be this high on the top 30 list, the truth of the matter is, he'd literally be in the conversation for best point guard in the league if Steph Curry didn't exist. For number 14, we got Anthony Edwards. For people who've seen the movie Hustle, I feel like Edwards wasn't even acting when he was trash-talking Bo Cruz. Anyway, this kid has it all. The athleticism, the shooting ability, the competitive drive, the it factor, or whatever you want to call it. He's a superstar on the rise, and in 2023, we're going to see him light up the league. For number 13, we got Jaylen Brown. He was the second best player for the Celtics that was just 2 wins away from being crowned champions. He can shoot, he can attack the basket, and he can post up. He can literally do it all except drive going left. According to Draymond on his podcast, Brown's inability to effectively drive left was a huge reason why the Celtics lost. Sheesh, guys. So, for all y'all kids out there, remember to practice both hands. Anyway, for number 12, we got Anthony Davis. To be perfectly honest, guys, I feel like I haven't seen Anthony Davis in like 2 years, so I actually almost omitted him off this list because I literally forgot about him. But anyway, when healthy and motivated, Anthony Davis is a force of nature, and if the Lakers could stay completely healthy next year, things could get interesting. For number 11, we got James Harden. He had an injured hamstring and started off the season as part of a dysfunctional Nets team, so as a result, he didn't have the greatest year last season. In 2023, however, he took a pay cut in order for the 76ers to acquire a few better pieces. His hamstring is healed, and he's going to be motivated. I expect Harden to be called the Beard again in 2023. And finally, just like that, we're now in the top 10. My goodness, guys. Y'all see how talented the NBA is these days. I mean, I got Harden and AD both out of the top 10. And yet, the crazy thing is, most people would probably agree with that too. Anyway, for number 10 here, we have Jason Tatum. He's fresh off winning the Eastern Conference Finals MVP award and being selected to the All-NBA First Team. He's a 3-level scorer, he's only 24, and he's one of the best players in the league. One thing he needs to do, though, is work on his own belief. As one of the best players in the league, as one of the superstars in this league, as the leader of the Boston Celtics, he can't be saying things like this.
Did I ever say that I'm a superstar or, I'm on the verge? That never came from me.
For number 9, we got Kawhi Leonard. Dang, guys, I can't get over that laugh. Anyways, Kawhi hasn't been seen in action for the past year, but the last time we saw him in the playoffs before he got hurt, he was averaging about 30 points and 8 rebounds while nearly shooting 50, 40, and 90. The 2023 season is a championship or bust year for the Clippers, and I expect Kawhi to be playing as motivated as we've ever seen him play. For number 8 on the list, we got Jimmy Butler. A lot of people might disagree with Butler being so high up on the list, but let's look at some facts here. Although he's not flashy and doesn't put up big regular season numbers, this man is a winner. He was the best player on the #1 seed in the East, and in the postseason, he transforms into a superstar. I mean, he single-handedly almost led Miami to a championship back in the 2020 bubble, and this past season, he was a 3-point shot away from bringing Miami back to the finals again. Jimmy Butler deserves to be on every top 10 list, and I have him here at number 8. For number 7, we got the 2-time reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic. Now, this man is a beast on offense. I mean, the numbers he's putting up are ridiculous, and he's literally a one-man wrecking machine. Still, though, he gets exposed in the playoffs. I mean, in 2021, the Suns swept the Nuggets, then in 2022, the Warriors gentlemen swept them. The Nuggets will have to play better in the playoffs in order for Jokic to move up the ranks of the elite. For number 6, we got Luka Doncic. Luka looks to have gotten into really good shape following his loss to the Warriors, and that's got to be scary for the league. Also, he's got a taste of what a championship team in the NBA is like, so you can bet he's learned some valuable lessons from Golden State. Next season, he'll be even more motivated, and I predict him to win the 2023 MVP. At number 5, I have LeBron James. Did you know that at age 37 in 2022, LeBron James averaged more points than he's ever averaged in a season since 2008? Sheesh, guys. And also, he's averaged more minutes than he's been averaging in the last 5 seasons. I know he'll be turning 38 next season, but he's still a one-man wrecking machine and one of the best players in the league. At number 4, I got Joel Embiid. He probably should have won the 2022 MVP because of his individual statistics and team standing, but oh well, what's done is done. An interesting question to ask is if Embiid didn't have that broken orbital bone, and if he did play the first 2 games in that series against Miami, would the 76ers have advanced to the conference finals or even the finals? Anyway, I got him at number 4 currently in the league, and at number 3, I got Kevin Durant. Some people may have KD at number 1, but you gotta ask yourself, would the number 1 player in the league allow himself to get swept when he's in his prime? Anyway, at age 33, turning 34, KD is the unstoppable force he's always been and hasn't shown much signs of slowing down at all. Next off at number 2, I have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Man, what he did against Boston in that second round was nothing short of amazing. I know he's physically gifted, but what makes Giannis so special is the fact that he gives it 100% all the time. He's one of the rare players in the league that's capable of putting the team on his back, and in 2021, that led to a championship. And at number 1, I got the reigning finals MVP, Stephen Curry. Unlike everyone else in the top 10, Curry doesn't dominate the league physically, but instead, he dominates with skills. I mean, his marksmanship, his ability to run nonstop and get open, his ability to generate offense is second to none. He's shown the world that you don't gotta be the tallest or strongest player on the court in order to be the best, and he did it emphatically as we saw in Game 4. The Celtics' defense was perhaps the best defense the NBA has seen in the last 10 years, and Steph Curry single-handedly shredded it to pieces. He's the best player in the league currently, and I have him at number 1. Sheesh, guys. And that's the top 30. Now, it was tough to fill in this top 30 list because there's just so much talent in the league these days. Anyways, in no particular order, here are some honorable mentions that lie just outside the top 30.